Why force yourself to outshout the competition just to get your brand noticed?
You don't have to anymore. Welcome to Copy That Speaks.
All right. Given that we're radio professionals, we really should try to meld our voices a little better in that open. You know what I mean? It sounds like one's underwater, one's I don't know what it sounds like, but we should seriously look to redo that open. Good morning.
All
We're
right.
nice to saying good evening, but it's morning. I'm Brian Brawdy from Mortal Up here as always with Mr. Lee Rowley from you know him from all over, but copy branding and that kind of thing. So Lee, how are you, sir? Nice to see you as always.
What's going on, party people?
Did
I really just say that?
You did. Yeah, that's okay. You know what I mean? We should have a disclaimer. Well, we're having one right now that the views expressed by Lee are not necessarily shared with everyone else here.
Anyone
that's
at
fair.
all.
No, sometimes I'm like, oh no, I'll take I'll saddle up to that idea. That's not a bad one. All right, brother, what's going on with you? What's new and exciting? What's just what's up?
Well, we're moving Copy That Speaks at least temporarily to the morning, so that's
Nice.
that's a thing. It's not me traipsing through the studio at 9 o'clock at night, knocking stuff over like a
True.
bull in a china shop, or a caged orangutan, as you would
As
you would like to say.
Gerbil on a flywheel that's gone wild. I'm with you.
Yep, absolutely. So we got that going on, and we are doing 3 episodes this morning. I don't know what got into us with that. But I'm really excited. Caffeine, yes.
Caffeine, I imagine. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just like to write stuff. I don't know.
That's cool.
It seemed like a good thing to do. So, but I was really excited. I asked our guest a few months ago if she'd come on, and she said, yeah, sure. And then, as happens in the entrepreneurial world, we all just kind of lost. We got tied up in other things. But so I talked to her last week and said, hey, can we nail it down? She said, yeah, we can do it next week. So I'm really super excited. Can I go ahead and introduce?
Please do.
Okay, absolutely. So I am pleased to introduce Kim Garst to Copy That Speaks. Kim, how are you?
I'm doing great and super excited to be with you guys.
Awesome. So for the 2 people watching our show who aren't familiar with you, would you please introduce yourself? Tell us a little about where you got to where you are and what you've got going on from here.
Sure, absolutely. My name is Kim Garst, and I refer to myself as an online business strategist. I've owned and operated numerous businesses in the past 20 online businesses over the past 28 years. And I have a real passion for shortening the learning curve for entrepreneurs who are either just getting started or are stuck in their entrepreneurial journey. Having been around for so long, I've pretty much built every online business model successfully, and so I have a pretty wide experience that I can draw on that, of course, helps others, which is like I say, is my passion. As it relates to, basically from the standpoint of, how I feel like I help the most probably is, again, just shortening that learning curve for folks, because that's usually what the problem is these days, is there's so much information out there that you don't know who to tune into, right?
Sure.
Yeah, there's definitely no shortage of that, of push button 37-step programs. And,
Right.
That I believe.
Good stuff. Very well. Awesome. Well, welcome. And so you told me that you've got a new mastermind coming up, which I think is what we're going to be working on some copy for today. Do you mind sharing a little bit about what that's about and what we can expect?
Oh, sure, absolutely. And thanks for asking. Basically, the mastermind is for that stuck entrepreneur who's reached, six-figure, maybe a six-figure or at that level where they're very capable of getting there. Maybe they're not quite there, or they are over that mark, but they just can't they can't grow. They're just stuck. They're on the hamster wheel, I call it, and wearing multiple hats, trying to do it all. And they just need to figure out how to get their life back, essentially. So that's basically who the mastermind is for. It's a way. It's my process is about essentially helping them figure out how they get some assistance. How do they start building a team to take back some of their time, so that they can create other income streams and or scale existing income streams.
Okay.
Very
The team.
cool.
Okay. Now, are these primarily, are they service providers, or are some of them already selling, digital products like courses or things like that, or are they still trying to get to that level?
I definitely think there's a lot of service providers out there who are on that, what I call the hamster wheel, or the train that you just can't get off of, but there's others as well, coaches, social media. Well, technically, social media managers, I would fall into the service-based entrepreneur space. I think those are the folks that I can really help, because I've been those people.
Okay,
I've owned agencies, I've owned membership programs, built those out successfully. So there's just coaching as well. There's just so many variables, and I think so often, we're so lockstepped into our own world that we can't get ourselves out of it.
Sure.
and therefore we get stuck. We can't grow. Don't know what decision, what actions. Maybe that's the best word to say. What actions do we take to get us to the next level?
That sounds amazing.
Absolutely.
And I've written down here, Lee, but I want to see where you're when she used the word train or to get their lives back. She said take their time back, shortening the learning curve. It's almost like, to me, what's on command is control on command. Control of your finances, control of your life, control of your time, control of your companies. So I really see the benefit of working with Kim being how to get some sense of control.
Right, exactly.
Back in what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So, how long is the mastermind? What's actually involved in, if somebody was going to join, what can they expect from day one?
Well, essentially, it's a year-long program, and
Okay.
I find that most entrepreneurs have a lot of core similarities as it relates to where they get stuck. It's fascinating to me that there can be a measure of success for an entrepreneur when they really are not clear on their who. And I find that is even true for some entrepreneurs who are at six figures. They really don't have their messaging and their branding succinctly nailed. And so that's a piece of it. And there's also the whole email list building thing. I'm huge on that. And it is fascinating, again, to me, how many entrepreneurs don't make that a priority in their business because they're so busy, usually, worrying about everybody else's business. And
Sure.
so a lot of the core things that build their business, and it's kind of the lifeblood of their business, is set aside in the pursuit of doing the work for someone else. So they're, and nothing wrong with being a service-based business owner, but lots of times your own business suffers because you've got the client work to do, and there's only so much time in the day. So there's just core things that we circle back to. One of the biggest things that I really focus on, because I feel like all of us have knowledge. We have our own zone of genius. Obviously, we get hired for that if we're a service-based entrepreneur. But how do you take that knowledge, systemize that knowledge, and turn that system into, one, a training program for help, because you need help to be able to get people back, to get some of your time back.
Right.
And then take that system and turn it into a course that now you can automate and have an income stream around your knowledge base. So I'm really, really big on selling knowledge because you can scale that. You can't scale your time.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay, so initial notes that I'm writing as we're going along, and I kind of like to share this as we're going. So we're talking about getting out of your own way. So which I think is a big component of it, and it's there's a lot of things going on here. Like the first thing that came to me is for a title is the Clarity Project, because I see a year-long program as more of a growth project than a mastermind necessarily. Where people are like,
that.
okay, in week one, because it to me it becomes more interactive that way, where they have a greater, I would say, skin in the game. That's a sports
Growth
metaphor,
project,
right?
sure.
Something like that.
I believe so.
I don't know. I don't do sports. I used to use it. They used to use me to get the football out of the sewer when I was a kid. So, like, that's the first thing that's coming to my mind is this idea of the Clarity Project.
Well, I think the other issue that I really want to focus on, I do tend to attract women entrepreneurs.
Right.
And one of the problems that women entrepreneurs face is, part of it is lack of knowledge about how to market their businesses. And specifically when it comes to the digital processes, I think it's not, there's obviously you don't get to six figures if you haven't marketed your business to some degree. I'm not suggesting that they don't know how to, totally market their business. But I feel like the whole sales funnel, the whole selling without feeling slimy, all of that, the elements that kind of revolve around marketing your business is a struggle sometimes for women entrepreneurs. And so I'm very passionate about that, helping women step out into and use their zone of genius in a way that doesn't come across as super salesy. Serve, don't sell. That mentality alone will sell. And so, but you also have to have the processes. You have to have the digital processes in place to be able to create the sale. So it's a combination, and it can be, the tech pieces can be a little overwhelming, I think, sometimes. And so that's something I am, very passionate about, moving women forward in that space or in those directions, because it gives them, it gives them options. It frees up, or they can, I frequently tell people you really only need two things to sell online, and that, or actually, regardless of where you're selling it, whether it's online or in a brick and mortar environment, you really just need something people want, and then you have to match it up with the right eyeballs and the right pocketbooks. Maybe is a better way of saying it.
Sure.
Online, I use eyeballs because they have to see it first usually, and then so it's traffic essentially, and then something that they want, and then just finding that that magic combination is really all you need. But you also have to have the digital processes in place to make that happen.
And then, Kim, you were saying it's a year-long course?
It's not a course. It's a mastermind.
Okay, I'm sorry, a mastermind, right?
We meet 4 times a year. We have, some. Obviously, there's quite a few other additional things, but it's basically a high level. Let's get your next big great idea, or you have an idea. Let's brainstorm how to put it together. It's hands-on. It's open as a kimono to my knowledge and my resources as well, and putting them on the fastest path to the direction that they want to go.
Hey, Lee, as I've listened to Kim say that, and she said, and you put about a growth project, you said to get some skin in the game.
Right.
Kim also said not clear on who you are. And I know this is terribly Chinese New Year, right? Because of my time in China, I always watch our New Year, and I watch the Chinese New Year.
Right.
It's the year of this, the year of that. So when I heard her say year, the first thing I thought of, and then when you said growth project, right, that it's a mastermind, it's called the Year of You. You know, just like in the year of the monkey, the year of the cow, the year of the snake, the year of the rat in Chinese New Year's, but a year of you where Kim just brings her vast knowledge, her vast expertise to focus on you. And, you know, she said, a train you just can't get off of, get their lives back, take back their time. She mentioned a couple times shortening the learning curve. So this mastermind could be a year's worth of focusing on you, your visions, your dreams, your fears, your stumbling blocks, the things that you need to learn from Kim in order to achieve, I don't know if greatness is the word, but you know what I mean? In order to achieve that sense of control in your life, the year of you.
I do dig that, and I was working on a tagline that actually I think kind of works with this, and I'm starting it with simplicity and systems. What I've got now is simplicity and systems to make your brilliance irresistible. I don't think that's quite right yet. But I think that speaks to the other part of what... I just dropped my daggone pen again.
I'm going to put this like on a string or something for you over there.
Yeah,
so
just
that you
staple them to my hands. It'll be all right.
Boxing gloves.
So, yeah, okay. Well, I mean, we've bantered on a bit. So, Kim, do you want to weigh in on where we are now?
Well, I do like the concept of the year of you because the mastermind concept is it's very fluid, in my opinion. Even though you have to put some structure to it to sell it because people want to know what they are going to get.
Sure.
But I find that anytime you work with an entrepreneur, things come up throughout the course of that relationship that they are willing to step into for mind blocks. You know, they can't get out of their own way, for example. So you have to deal with those types of things, even though that's technically maybe not what you're selling on the front side. So my point is that there's always things that evolve during the course of the year that has to be dealt with. Sometimes they're mindset issues. Sometimes they are tech constraints. Sometimes they are financial constraints too. So it's just the relationship, I think, that and the collaborations that happen inside of a mastermind environment are very rich, and I think that the connection that happens during that time frame is probably a lifelong experience. Outside of the fact that it changes their business, which is always my end goal. My end goal is actually a little bit, way bigger than just the monetary piece of someone's business. It's about their life. And because I feel like that we as entrepreneurs, if we don't get a handle on how we want our life to look and then reverse engineer that in our business and make our life work in that vision that we have, usually what we start doing and the business consumes us. And then we have no life. So we basically start a business so we can have the life we want. And then before you know it, you don't have that life at all. In fact, you have no life. So it's about taking back that and starting to, build the business that supports the lifestyle you want, essentially.
I love that. And again, it's unique. It's personalized to the individual. Because everyone's definition, I would think, of what it means to be successful or to feel thrilled with your life, that's unique to every individual. I can't imagine, Kim, that you've ever worked with someone that's exactly alike another client you've worked with, right? So that authenticity, that uniqueness, that personalized attention that you're going to bring throughout the course of the year. And because as Lee called it, he says it's a growth project. They want to know that you have skin in the game. You want to know that they have skin in the game, so that you're both kind of into this together.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And it's not just, honestly, it's even bigger than me and the individual mastermind client. It's the collaboration that happens within the group itself.
Sure.
I never claim to know everything, obviously, but I feel like that when you bring, like-minded people who are on the same journey together,
Sure.
really magical things happen.
Sure, there's a
whether it's
synergy.
Collaboration,
Right.
Yes, the synergy and everybody's black books come into play, if you want
Sure.
to call it that way.
Sure.
I know somebody who knows how to do that, or I can connect you to this person or that person. So the amazing things that come out of a mastermind are usually way bigger than the expectations and or the dollar amount that you spend on them.
And I can imagine that sense of community that it builds. And Kim, just this is about the time we usually turn it over to Lee, and he starts to work his magic on the chalkboard. So we'll let him have a minute or two, so you and I can catch up about that. I've got to tell you, am I allowed to say where you're calling from? Can I say that? Is that like common knowledge to you, Mike?
Absolutely.
I love
Sure.
Tampa. I love Tampa. So I know I'm putting you on the spot, and that this is a live show, so don't hold it against me. But I do yard work. I could move back to Tampa and cut your grass. I can make sure the trash and recycling's out. Well, I don't vacuum very well, so I could agree to wash your cars, but I think I'd hire someone else to detail and on the inside. So you got 250 billion people following you across all these social media platforms. You got any openings at your compound? I could raise and lower the flag. Oh, I could take your kids back and forth from the airport, the jet setters that they are.
Yep.
Right? So I could use I could use an excuse to move back to Tampa. I could say to my wife, she'll go, "Why are you moving back to Tampa?" "Oh, Kim hired me." I could say that. What are you going to be doing? Laundry.
I really think anyone who is living up north this time of the year anyway needs to at least come visit Tampa, because we were talking about this obviously earlier, but it's just so amazing this time of the year, in July, August time frame, even September. It's the other end of the spectrum where it'd be nice to kind of go north for a bit because
Sure.
it's so hot here. But this time of the year is just my favorite time of the year because it's so chilly or
Sure.
outright cold other places,
Right.
and it's high 70s, 80s almost every day, nice and sunny. It's just gorgeous weather.
Yeah, I know. Here's my little tip, because most everything I say you'll just ignore throughout this 30 minutes, as you'll learn here very quickly. My little tip is tell everyone how horrible Tampa is, because if you and I start bragging about how great it is, then there's 10 people deep at Best Buy when you want something. You go to people, all kinds of people, just normal people running up and down Bayshore Drive. We can't have that. So yes, I think Tampa's one of I wouldn't go there. I just wouldn't, right? No, there's no good dinner clubs, no good breakfast places, no good wildlife, no good riding your bicycle across the bridge, no, right, Kim? No good anything. Stay north.
There's no good anything.
There's no good anything. Take up snowshoeing, right? You look like you're built for cross-country skiing. Have out to a snow-filled field. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right, Kim? Right?
No, I'll just go back to the whole. Remember what I said about how hot it gets here in July and August. So y'all don't want to move here. It's just a horrible, horrible thing.
And the mosquitoes, the ankle biters that they are, the mosquitoes.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to stay away from Tampa. I think maybe Fort Myers. You should look at Fort Myers, maybe Miami. Look up, right? Who doesn't want to live on the East Coast? Stay the hell out of Tampa. Just stay away from Tampa. I think so. That's the message I'm taking from Kim.
That's right.
Kim, don't you dare come to Tampa, Garst. Right? That's my. I'm just kidding you. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not kidding at all. Stay out of Tampa, because when I get there, I don't want traffic.
Oh, well, sorry.
Yeah.
That's another. I will say for negatives, if there, put pile more in the negative column here.
Good.
But
Good.
Tampa traffic is a bit of a bear.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, you ride a bicycle.
If you work from home, it's not an issue. But if you have to get out and in the traffic every day, that can be a gigantic pain in the tush, for sure.
And one of my favorite is Publix, one of my favorite grocery stores. I had a lady with silver hair one time ram into the back of the shopping cart so she could get the last thing of broccoli in the little dump in there at Publix. Rammed right into me. Right into me. There's vicious people. Not Kim, right? I'm sure Kim's a lovely, lovely person, would never ram me with a shopping cart, but stay away from Tampa.
That's right.
very, very
That's
vicious
right.
people.
They've got bugs the size of dachshunds.
Yeah. Oh, and
Yeah.
those mosquitoes, they'll
Yeah.
go right for your ankles.
Yeah.
You can't even make it to your car. It's horrible.
Okay.
All right, what do you got, Lee?
Woo.
What do
Well,
you got?
first of all, since I'm actually going to be in Florida next week, I'm like, yeah, no, I am.
Are you
I
really?
am.
Good for
Yeah,
you.
we just decided we're going to Orlando, and then we're going back. We're actually going to go through Tampa because we want to go back to the Dolly Museum.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So.
Like play dolls?
Yeah. Well, like Hello Dolly.
Oh, hello, Dolly.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
No,
Well, you
okay.
said
There's
cowardly
a Hello
lion.
Dolly Museum?
No, it's Salvador Dali
Yeah.
in St. Pete. We went last fall and we wanted to go back. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just being weird. Don't mind
Yeah,
us.
don't- All right, so
Yeah,
what do you got for
I
us, boss?
suppose I better crack this. I better do something useful real quick. Okay, so I really love the Year of You. That's cool. I like the idea of the simplicity in systems, but in the tagline, I mean, I keep coming. One thing I keep coming back to: get control of your time, income, and freedom. So I don't know. What do you think? Like training and community? Because I like this word community because you talked about how it wasn't just a training program. It wasn't just a mastermind. It was more of a place where people could go to get the support and encouragement they need in addition to the training, right?
Yeah, and I think that a lot of good mastermind programs are really designed or at least have a facet of the networking element, because I truly believe that is probably, arguably, I would even say arguably, one of the greatest values of a mastermind is the connections that happen with higher level entrepreneurs. And, whether it's a collaboration, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a introduction to someone else that someone knows that needs XYZ that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen millions of dollars of business collaborations come out of masterminds. I've had that happen in my business even, when I've participated in masterminds. So I think that's a huge, huge value add and something I really just work to foster.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think that should have a prominent place in how you're presenting that to the people that you can serve with this. So I've got different, training, community, and transformation. I've got all these little snippets here, and Brian, I don't know if you got anything up there or not, but I was
Yeah, I'm sorry.
thinking,
I kind of drifted off. I was over on Kim's Facebook page, liking it
yeah,
now. So I've liked Kim's Facebook page.
He's riding his bike, and okay, good,
Right,
good.
and I got to tell you, the throw pillow that you have there, Kim, with like the button, the person, and it's emanating from the person's head. Another thing, when Lee was talking about the growth project, the Year of You, she's got a throw pillow with a button. It looks like the person emanating out from their shell.
Oh,
right? So
cool.
I thought that was really cool. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I just liked her page. Me and it looks like 450 other million people. So Kim, congratulations on that. That's great. That's great.
Well, thanks for liking the page.
No, not at all, my friend. Not at all.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lee. Were you talking to me?
Was I talking? No,
to me?
it's all right.
Okay,
don't,
cool.
Don't mind
Sorry
me.
about that.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's okay. So I mean, I keep going 300. I like starting with the idea of possibly starting the tagline with 365 days of or 365 days to. So I mean, it's not the way you're not really, you're letting them know up front. Look, this is a commitment. This is a transformation here, people. This is not a $7 swipe file. I mean, not that they would think it was anyway, but I mean, a year is a pretty big commitment, I think, for most people. So I'd love to see 365 days of training, community, and transformation. We need to weave some more specifics into it as well. But I think that's training, community, and transformation. I think are three of the biggest things that they're going to get out of it. That's not to say it's everything, but obviously we got to keep this under 7 to 10 words here.
And the question is,
Sure.
Do you feel like somebody who's willing to invest, a sizable amount of money, knowing that they are stuck with someone that they feel gets them, that understands their struggles, do you feel like that they're after training, community, and transformation? Even though that might be the outcome.
Okay.
Do you feel like, you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, because I always look at this from the marketing perspective too.
Right.
Because the problem becomes always, even though sometimes what people need, it's not where they don't know they need that yet. So
Good point.
you kind of have to message to what they want versus what they're going to. Sometimes the messaging can be both, but sometimes it's not. Like
Sure.
I sometimes think like transformation is a quick. I'll just use that word. I don't know that people that are willing, they're not there yet. They can't see that yet. They're at that first day of the 365 days, and they're like transformation. I'm not sure that means anything to me right now.
Okay.
Well, as a growth project, I guess if you started off with the year of you, everyone, right? You go to a health spa, it's all about me. So if you walk into somewhere and the maitre d' at a restaurant goes, it's all about you. What can I do for you? How can I serve you? What is it that you need? So maybe we can hash that out a little bit more. I see the idea, but in terms of making it unique and personalized,
right.
I think everyone gets that because they think Kim's focus is on them.
Right.
It's kind of, and I know we're running over time, but if I could do this real quick, one of the 2 or 3 or 4 times that I met a former president, and I won't mention his name so that no one thinks I'm dropping the name, but I met a president and they said, oh, well, how was he? He had the ability, if you were in a receiving line and there was 100 people, every person in that line thought when he stopped to shake your hand, the rest of the 99 people could just go away. He had the ability to build such empathy in an instant that you thought he was just focused on what you were saying.
Right.
And then he'd move on and it would go on again.
Right.
So I think as I look at Kim's picture and I see her logo and I'm on her site now and the like, she has that same unique ability to build empathy with the person that she's talking to. So when she says the year of you, you're kind of like, wow, I got like Kim's like my tape man, right? She's in my corner.
Right.
And whatever happens in terms of this growth project, she's got my back. She's got my six. She's right. So that's why that's what makes sense to me is that no matter what comes up, as she said, get their lives back, take back their time. You called it a growth project. She's there to help you grow every step of the way. Kim, what say you?
I love that concept, and some visual imagery came into play there too, like the whole "I got your back" concept, or there's some cool things I think that could be done with branding with that whole last piece that you just talked about. I do feel like people want to know that it is all about them. I mean, as a marketer, I get that. It is all about them. And people have a lot of choices today. And if you don't approach your marketing from the perspective from that place of service, then you're going to struggle because it is all about the person that you're serving, and they know it. And so you have to, you definitely have to show up in a big way. I think when you are selling something, especially something like a high-end mastermind. It's a lot of money. It's a big commitment that you're asking from them, and you, in return, are giving a big commitment. You're giving up the same year of your time that they are, but you have to be committed to that piece. So I really love that, that last piece that you talked about, because I feel like that kind of really nails it. I also love what you said about the, and I'll try to tie this up real quick because I know we are over time. But somebody who has that ability to connect, and it's a very rare thing. I appreciate you said that about me, and I hope that I have that. I know that it's a very special skill set. I've only met a few people in my life that I felt had it. You guys may know Gary Vaynerchuk, but if you ever stand in line and you wait for him to sign a book that you purchased, or if you have a conversation with him, the world is just the two of you while you're talking to him, So I feel like that's a very special thing. And I like I say, I appreciate you said that. But anyway, I sum it all up to say I did really love that last piece because I feel like it really is about the personalized journey, and everybody's journey is going to be different.
And Kim, if I could add to that, when Lee talked about Growth Project, even your picture, even your logo on Facebook has an open chair. So even your picture talks about being inviting. Even your picture talks about come in here and sit in this open chair, right? You're not sitting in the chair because it's not about you. That, to me, when I saw your picture, it's about inviting that person to come sit in the open chair. But listen, in the interest of full disclosure, you should know I've had a brain tumor and 4 brain surgeries in the last 2.5 years. So what the heck do I know, right? But when I look at that, my friend, and I see the open chair, I'm like, it's an invitation. Look, table for 1, no waiting. So that's it. All right, I'm done. I won't interrupt anymore. Lee, take it away, brother.
Well, very good. Well, I want to be respectful of your time, Kim, and thank you again so much for coming on. So I think we'll have to pick up this the rest of this discussion later. For now, I'd like if you would like to tell us where people can find out more about you and go to find your programs and courses and whatnot, that would be fantastic.
Sure. Well, you can find me pretty much anywhere under my name, Kim Garst. So my website is kimgarst.com/blog. If you want a lot of great free content, all of it is online marketing specific, very heavily weighted to social media, though I will warn you of that.
Okay.
And any social media platforms, you can find me under my name as well. Google me, you can definitely find me.
Very cool. And I think she wanted to also say, as her new, in case she hires me as a spokesperson and someone to manicure her shrubs, stay out of Tampa.
Right.
Stay out of Tampa. Stay out of Tampa. There's all kinds of other places to travel to in Florida. Why Tampa? What's wrong with you? Go to Miami. Right? Go anywhere. Go. Tallahassee's nice, I'm told. Right? Stay out of Tampa. All right, Kim, thank you so very much for joining us today. It's great to get a chance to meet you. And Lee, I will let you say goodbye and we'll get out of here.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you very much, Kim, for coming on the show today. We really enjoyed having you, and I hope that you got some enjoyment out of it as well, hanging out with us two middle-aged nerds who have nothing better to do at 11 o'clock in the morning. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Kim Garst, she's all over everywhere, and you can see why. I hate to say this because everyone's going to go, oh, well, so if you have an accent like you're from Brooklyn, that's no good. But she's got such a down-home, welcoming accent. And then you see that picture on Facebook. There's an open chair. It's like, come in, put your feet up.
Right.
You need a mint julep, right? You need like an iced tea. Tell me what you got going on. So when I saw her logo, Lee, I was like, no, that's the year, right? That's the year of you.
Yeah, I dig that.
She has that southern, and now, admittedly, I'm from the South, so that, right? But it's just like, she just wants to, like, bring it in, just give you a big hug and go, the year of you. What are we going to focus on? What are we going to talk about?
Right.
What's it going to take to manifest you? So I kind of dig that. All right.
Very cool.
All right. So what's up with you, brother? What's the next thing you got going on?
Well, we got another one of these coming up in 20 minutes or something?
I enjoyed talking to Kim. I lost track.
No, it was good. I really enjoyed that too, as well. So, the usual, LeeRowley.com and
Brian Brawdy, Mortal Up. You can tune into the radio show, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Okay, and let us know what you think of this morning's thing, too, because, we can get up early. I don't know if we're quite as funny at 10 in the morning, but...
Well, I think I'm hysterical first thing out of bed.
I think I'm hysterical all the time, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But, okay, so let's wrap this up, and we will see you again at noon.
All right, sounds good. All right, Kim, thanks so much again.
Bye-bye now.
Here we go. It's a challenge for you to hold on your own drumsticks. Were you in a rock band, really?
I was a vocalist.
Now that I believe.
Mary had a little lamb.